Found out wife cheated on me with a coworker after confessing she was pregnant, so I did this. I am 34, my ex-wife was 30. At the time I wrote this story, Miriam and I had been married for 6 years and we had a beautiful daughter together. We were a happy family and I couldn't believe that Miriam would decide to throw away everything we shared as a family. We were always there for each other and supported each other's dreams. If she said she wanted to try something out, I would give her my full support and the same applied to me. Black small square. Everything began to fall apart when Miriam got the role of an intern at her dream organization. And after she completed the internship, she was lucky to be fully retained. The truth is none of us saw that coming. But I was so happy for her when it did during my ex-wife's internship. There was this particular coworker of hers she used to talk about all the time. His name was John. She would return for the day and talk about how John was so intelligent, how he helped her out and so on. Black small square. I didn't really think there was a problem with that because John was married and he was not helping her alone. He was helping other interns too. Black small square. Also being that we were couples who communicated a lot. I literally knew everyone at her place of work even without meeting them face to face. Because talking about everything was just our way of bonding and filling each other. In about our days black small square after my wife got retained by her organization, she began to change. If she left for work early in the morning, she would return around 7 p.m. leaving just me to care for and look after our daughter. This continued for a while. And any time I tried to talk about this new behavior of hers, she would flare up and say I was being jealous because she earned more than me. And her job was better than mine. Yes, it was true that my wife earned more than me. But that was not what this was about. And I hated that she had to rub that in my face each time we disagreed on something or had a fight. Miriam did not just suddenly begin to return home late, but she also became colder towards me before all of this happened. Our weekend used to be something we all look forward to because we would cook together, try our baking disasters, clean together, watch movies together, bath together and even do karaoke with our daughter together. But all of that stopped after she got the job. It got so bad that even if she was at home, it was almost like she wasn't there. If she wasn't on her laptop, she'd be on her phone and she didn't have an issue with consistently neglecting us to focus on whatever she was doing. No matter how much I complained, black small square, it was very painful to watch this because I loved Miriam so much and whatever was going on was not the plan I had for the both of us or for our family. Either black small square. When I had enough, I confronted her one day and asked her to pick between her marriage and her new job since it was turning her into the person she wasn't. And ultimately, she picked her job. Black small square. She said she'd pick her job over and over and she did not give a damn about her marriage. This was a very painful thing to hear and she was not kidding either. Black small square. At that time, I was so busy trying to save our marriage that I didn't notice the changes in the way she dressed, her makeup and even her choice of clothes. It was a clear sign that she was seeing someone else. It had to be the only reason she neglected me and her daughter. And I was right. One day I had put her daughter to sleep early and I went to her room to think things through and Miriam was on her laptop in the living room when I left her. so since she didn't hear any movement, she must have thought I was sleeping. She walked into the room and I think she came in to confirm if I was asleep because she didn't see me move when she confirmed that she continued to talk on the phone. It didn't take long for me to figure out that she was talking to her lover whom she told she was pregnant. And at the end of the conversation, she called his name. Black small square, it was the same John, her co-worker. Black small square, I felt my throat go dry and I could not believe it. Miriam cheated on me with John, and not just that, she got pregnant by him. Despite everything we had been through together, black small square, I was really broken. But since we were already distant with each other, I didn't need to pretend that everything was okay. While she continued with her ways, I planned my revenge. Black small square, I really wanted to confront her. But if I did, maybe things would not have turned out the way they did. Black small square, I got one of those apps that allows you to track people's phones and attract hers. I did this because I needed evidence, and without evidence, my revenge would be incomplete. I got their chats and text messages of them talking about the pregnancy and how she would try to pin it on me. Black small square, the funny thing is, since Miriam had started seeing John, we stopped getting intimate because she was always tired whenever I tried to touch her. After that call, she tried to make us get intimate, but I didn't let that happen. Black small square, gathering the evidence took a while, and after I got enough, I printed them and put them in a big envelope. Then I took it to her workplace myself. When she saw me that day, she pretended like we were cool at home and asked what I was doing there. Lol, I played along and told her I had come to deliver something very important to her boss. So she gave me a cold kiss and returned to whatever she was doing. If only she knew what was going to happen next, maybe she would not have kissed me. I think she was still a month pregnant because her baby bump was not obvious yet. That evening, she returned home in tears, but her bags were already packed by the door. I knew she had been fired because her company did not support coworkers dating each other, and to make matters worse, she was pregnant when she realized it was me. And I had known all this while she fell on the floor and began to cry and beg me. But it was too late. I told her she'd be getting the divorce papers soon and kicked her out. John's wife eventually heard of the news and she divorced John too. John and Miriam did not end up together because he said Miriam ruined his life and all his years of hard work, and he wasn't going to take responsibility for the pregnancy because she was married to me. But we all knew the baby wasn't mine either. Black small square, we eventually divorced, and with the help of my lawyer, I took custody of our daughter. I was not going to let her suffer for the sins of her mother. Black small square, Miriam gave birth to a boy. And believe me, she has suffered a lot with the baby up to date. Every time she comes to pick up her daughter, she cries, begs and admits that she made a terrible mistake. I keep telling her that it would be my own terrible mistake to take her back. Black small square, I'm sorry, Miriam broke your trust and you had to go through all of this. I'll agree with you that you'd be making a terrible mistake. If you took Miriam back, it was inhumane of her to abandon her family and cheat on you with a coworker. It's a good thing that she has gotten what she deserved. And John played a fast one on her. I believe you will be fine, and you will definitely find a woman who will value and protect what you both have. I'm glad you did a good thing by getting rid of her and exposing her secrets. You're an example of a strong man, and thank you for sharing your story with us. Now, let's move on to our next story for today. My ex-girlfriend and I had been dating for 4 years and I was getting ready to propose to her before I found out she was cheating on me. Black small square Anna and I loved each other a lot. We were not the perfect Hollywood couple, but we loved each other while we were dating. I asked Anna to move in with me because I wanted her to be around me all the time. She moved in a year after we started dating and she went to college for my place, being that we had dated for a long time. Both of our parents were aware of our relationship and they consented to Anna moving in with me since we were planning to settle down. Anyways, black small square I was a remote worker who earned well. So money was not an issue for us. My clients paid well and in turn, I provided everything Anna wanted. If she wanted to shop every week, hang out with her friends, do her nails or even get new wigs, they were all provided for. I cared about Anna and I wanted her to be happy. I played my part in being loyal and faithful and I refrained from doing anything that would cause me to cheat on her or talk to any woman longer than I should. Black small square Anna, on the other hand, was a social butterfly. If she met someone on the same day, it would not take long before they became patties. This was the only problem I had with her and it was always the cause of our fights. In the process of being social with most men, they would cross their boundaries and Anna did not seem to have a problem with it. If we talked about it, she would tell me, "This is who I am and I am not going to change my personality because you are not comfortable with it." So I let it slide. Black small square When Anna finished college, she was not able to get a job immediately after. So in the process of staying at home with me, she added extra pounds and this made her very uncomfortable. She had to change her wardrobe because her clothes no longer fit, being that she had expanded. I suggested that she try intermittent fasting. But when we weren't getting the results we wanted, I then suggested that she sign up for a gym and she agreed. The first few weeks after Anna signed up at the gym, she wanted to stop going because of how much her body hurt. She would literally skip some days and I would persuade her to keep going. Black small square She loathed going to the gym and it was never something she looked forward to. But down the line, I noticed she began to change and going to the gym was something she prepared for a day before. At first, I thought it was because she successfully passed that beginner stage where working out would not have to hurt anymore. But I was wrong. Black small square Ideally, she was supposed to go to the gym 3 times a week since she spent most of her time at home doing nothing. But she changed it to 5 times a week including weekends. This did not sit well with me, but I could not complain since it was my idea for her to sign up for the gym in the first place. Slowly, Anna began to stay longer than usual and most times she would come home with so much excitement. As if that was not enough, Anna would pick fights over the smallest things. If I told her she looked better in a particular pair of pants, she'd get pissed. If I told her I didn't want a particular meal for breakfast, she'd make a big deal out of it when I could not take it anymore. I told her parents about it and when her parents called to talk to her, she got upset and left the house for about a week. At that point, I was so worried. We never had the kind of fight where she had to leave the house. And I didn't want her parents to know about it either. Black small square After repeatedly calling and begging her for the whole week, she returned. And that's when things got worse. I had to apologize for everything she did, even when it was clear that she was the one at fault. I did the cooking, laundry, and took care of the house. I did everything possible to make sure that we didn't fight again. Even when she got on my nerves sometimes, because if I did, she would threaten to leave, and I didn't want that. Black small square. Meanwhile, she did not miss any of her gym workout days. But our relationship was slowly falling apart before everything turned out the way it did. We used to get intimate at least 3 times a week. But after she changed, we could go 2 weeks before she let me touch her. Black small square. One day, she returned from the gym quite late as usual, but in high spirits, and that particular day, I was having a tough time working because my service provider was giving me issues. Black small square. I asked to borrow her phone so I could use her hotspot, and she just unlocked it and handed it to me. Then she went to her room to shower and change while I was with her phone. It didn't take long before a message from a certain Andrew popped up. It said, "I know I should not be texting you now, but I want you to know that you're the sweetest and sexiest girl. I know, and I love how you drive me crazy. Black small square. See you soon." Then he added those heart-shaped emojis. Black small square. It took me a while to wrap my head around what was going on and what I did without wasting time. I took screenshots of the texts and forwarded them straight to her family WhatsApp group. And then I called her mother immediately. Black small square. When this happened, Anna kept trying to talk to me from the bedroom. But when I wasn't responding, she came out to meet my eyes filled with tears. I asked her if she was seeing someone else, and she flared up and threatened to leave as usual. But this time I helped her in packing her bags. When she realized she had been busted, she begged and begged, but I still kicked her out. Black small square. Her parents called her and yelled at her to the extent she could not control her tears. She knew she had disappointed them, and she had to live with that. Black small square. I could not believe I allowed her to emotionally manipulate me while she was screwing another guy from the gym behind my back. She tried to come back to me several times, but I warned her to never come close to me or my apartment, as manipulative as she was. She even tried to remind me of everything we shared and told me to not let one mistake ruin everything. I had enough, and I got her a restraining order. Black small square. Later on, I found out that the time she left the house for a week, it was Andrew's house she stayed at, and not one of her friends as she claimed. Funny thing is, she did not even know Andrew was married and his wife and son had traveled for that period. After about 3 months, she started calling my number again with a different number, begging me to take her back. She was sorry, but I blocked her again though. It was not easy. I'm happy I got rid of that manipulative woman. It's never easy, but I'm happy you did the right thing. Black small square. Anna did not deserve a second chance. Not after cheating on you and taking your love for granted. You wanted what was best for her. But she turned around to pay you back in the worst possible way. No one should be with a cheating and manipulative partner. She was manipulative and she did not deserve you. It's sad. You had to experience all of that, especially after you repeatedly showed her nothing but love. Sorry, things had to turn out this way for you. But it's a sign that someone better is coming your way and you're going to get the love you deserve. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I wish you all the best going forward. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoy listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Black small square. Also comment below with your thoughts on what happened. Take care and thanks for all support. Black small square, black small square, black small square, black small square, black small square.